Hour number 3, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Monday. He's Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier back there as well. So did Jeff Hem text you? I had to step out for a second, but you got the answer?
Yes, it is. You are correct. They will stay in 5-star hotels when they're down on a rehab assignment. By the way, Jordan's number was 12, Eric, not 45. His number was 12.
45 was when he came back after retiring, but 12 was when the jersey was stolen and he wore that.
The one game.
For one game.
Thank you, Chase.
Yes. So
damn it, Eric.
If you are answering what numbers he wore in the NBA, it was 23, 45, and 12.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that is correct, sir. Say hello now to John McClain joining us from Houston. John, how you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
We're fantastic. I am sure that there's been baseball fever down there in Houston, and it's been a lot of fun.
Oh my goodness, it's amazing to me, and I understand how excited Hispanics are about baseball, and seeing the crowds here with Mexico, watching last night, knowing what it's going to be like tonight with Venezuela. You know, they said last night was 70-30. Venezuela and the Italians probably 90-10, and if it's the U.S. and Venezuela and Miami, it'll probably be 60-40, maybe 70-30. But the fans are fantastic. You know, Aaron Judge said it's better than the World Series. As my wife pointed out, those fans seem like they're having so much fun because of their country and their players. They're probably not screaming the things that players hear during MLB games, in which they want to insult you, your mama, and everything else. But I love watching it. I got caught up in it. I've watched every game, and I can't wait to see what happens tonight, and then, of course, Tuesday night.
So, John, along the football lines, I want to ask you a couple of questions. And you texted me last night on this topic, and I definitely had planned to bring it up. Could you remind people who owned the Houston Oilers?
Well, first of all, let me back up. I went to lunch with some guys today I hadn't seen in a while. And we spent about 2 hours talking about the baseball classic plus the draft and everything else. But the first question they asked me was about what did I think about the Titans' new uniforms being Love You Blue. And before I asked them what they thought, I said, I'll say what I've said all along. I love that color. It brings back so many memories to me. And Houston was never going to have it, couldn't have it. So I would rather the Titans have it than nobody have it. And so two of them said they liked it. Another one said, well, I think those colors should be here. And so I went back to 4 things I tweeted last week because fans here, typical, were going ballistic, saying those colors belong to Houston. No, they belong to the Adams family. And I pointed out that from the before Bob McNair got the franchise and afterward, he told me multiple times off the record he wanted the team to be called the Texans. He just always has liked the nickname Texans. Now, he had season tickets to the Oilers from 1960 until for decades, and he knew Bud Adams very well. Bud played a role in Houston getting the franchise to replace the Oilers. And so Bob told me he didn't want the nickname Oilers. He didn't want the Oilers uniforms and colors. He wanted the Texans to forge their own identity, create their own history, and the Oilers would always belong to the Adams family. And when Bud, before he decided to change the nickname from Oilers, which he did not want to do, but he knew that he had to in 99. So Paul Tagliabue gave him in writing a document that the NFL has on file and the Titans ought to have on file somewhere, that nobody could ever use the name, the colors, or anything other than the Titans/Oilers family. And so I tweeted that, and the last time I looked, it had over 300,000 people had looked at it. And And I've been telling people this for 30 years about that document, but it makes for good talk show fodder down here in which fans get so stirred up and everything. But the fact is, truthfully, even if Amy Adams Strunk said, okay, I want Houston to have all that, we're going to change everything, I don't think she could do it. I don't know that document said it could ever be changed by somebody in the family, and they know how Bud felt about the colors and the name. So it couldn't happen even if somebody wanted to happen. It is a moot point. And the last thing I tweeted, I hope someday, hopefully soon, that fans can get as excited and as controversial about something that happens on the field between these two teams instead of uniforms and colors.
I'm with you. And look, I mean, if both of these teams are good, that should be good enough. But it just, like, I see radio hosts out of Houston tweeting about it and saying it should be ours and all that stuff. And I'm like, it never was yours. It was Bud Adams. The Adams family owned it. Now, it was in your city, but, I mean, it would be like if the Predators moved to Hamilton, Ontario, which they came close to doing, and took the name and the colors and everything. That was theirs. It was, I mean, it's not the city's. So it just, I mean, that's my thing. Ultimately, I like the look. I think we had Jeff Fisher on earlier. He was there. He likes it. He thinks it's cool to kind of blend the two together. And, you know, fans in Houston, I love you, but you gotta let it go.
Well, I don't think they ever will. Hopefully these teams will be like the Astros and the Rangers. They absolutely hate each other. They've played for the World Series. They've played big games to get in the playoffs. And the Texans and the Titans have just never done that. They've not both been. The only time I can remember them being good at the same time was the period in which Kerry Collins was the quarterback, and they had that great game up there that had multiple fights, and both teams had winning records. And I think the Texans won the game, and I thought, well, this is great. Boy, they're building up bad blood that should have been there from the get-go. These teams are going to be good, and they've just never been good at the same time where they played meaningful games.
John, you've been such an advocate of Bud Adams and what he brought to the game of professional football. The city of Houston and the people you know, they say time heals old wounds. Did this apply to Bud and what happened with the Oilers? They've been going 30 years now, but have people moved on?
People know, because I talk about it on talk shows, about why I've been on the contributors committee to try to help Bud Adams get in the Hall of Fame. And I talk about the period early in Bud's career, because there were later times in Bud's career that people remember, and I have to go back before he got the franchise, laying the groundwork. I co-founded the AFL with Lamar Hunt, even though Lamar gets all the credit because it was his idea, but they announced it in Bud's office here, and Lamar told people that if not for Bud, he wouldn't have been able to pull that off, but it hasn't helped Bud. And it helped him get one step closer, but it hasn't helped him get in the Hall of Fame. And the problem is there's hardly anybody that was alive back then and left on the Hall of Fame committee who would know some of these things. But I don't have anybody do like they used to. If I'd said this after the team moved, I'd been bombarded with people telling me I was nuts and I'd get run out of town. So tonight, I think it's they kind of just shrug their shoulders because it has been 30 years. And you think about it, if you were 10 years old when the team moved, you're about to turn 40. And so I don't think it's healed old wounds. Now people here are turning their ire toward Amy because of the color thing.
Right.
You know, we're not worried about Amy Adams because she beat it, because the Titans beat the Texans. It's all about the colors. And but if you got to be riled up about something, something's better than nothing, because these two teams should have been each other's most bitter rival starting in 1997.
I totally agree on that. John, the Texans signed somebody that's kind of dear and personal to us here in Middle Tennessee. Reed Blankenship came over from the Eagles. I mean, a guy, just undrafted guy who's played his tail off. I like the signing. He brings grit. He's not the fastest guy. He's not going to intercept 15 passes, but he loves to hit and loves to play football, John. I like the signing of Reed Blankenship from MTSU to the Texans.
The Texans have made 3 free agent signings I like a lot. Right tackle Braden Smith, who played for the Colts for 8 years, and Reed Blankenship. Right now, I thought they had the best secondary in the NFL last year with cornerbacks Derek Stingley Jr., Kamari Lassiter, and Jalen Petrie as the slot corner, Kalen Bullock as the deep safety, but they had a rotation at the other safety position, and getting Reed Blankenship to fill that after only 4 years in the league, got a Super Bowl ring. I thought it was a tremendous signing. He fits exactly what they want. He's coming over to a defense that had the fewest yards allowed in the league, a defense that if they hadn't pulled all their starters in the last game, they would have allowed the fewest points. As it is, they allowed like 17-8, and the Seattle like 17-3 or 4. So their defense is great. They didn't lose any player they didn't want to lose. Another one I like, a tackle /end, Logan Hall, Tampa Bay, 4 years, second-round pick, high second-round pick in 2022. And he's coming in here to be part of the rotation to replace Danico Autry, playing tackle in four-man front. So they've added significantly to the defense, even more so than the offense, which tells me the draft will be heavily tilted toward offense, specifically the offensive line.
We'll have more with John McClain from Houston coming up next here on Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Monday. Continuing with John McClain down in Houston. John, when we talk about quarterbacks that really need a second, maybe at this point a fourth chance, Justin Fields' name was not one that I thought was going to come up, but now he's going to back up Patrick Mahomes. If ever there was a good opportunity for someone to kind of revitalize their career, would that not be one of the places to go?
If he can't make it there, he can't make it anywhere. Just getting to play with Andy Reid. Now, the thing is, remember, Mahomes was hurt in, late December, mid-December? So there's no guarantee he'll be ready first game. I've seen some reports saying he's expected to be. Hopefully he is. But Fields might be in a position where he has to do most of the playing in preseason. It is a great deal for him. He's bounced around the NFL like a ping pong ball. Another great situation is Kyler Murray going to play with Kevin O'Connell. It's amazing how many quarterbacks they've played there. To have had 2 years ago, number one pick J.J. McCarthy, Sam Darnold, and Daniel Jones, and kept McCarthy and let the other two go. Now they've signed lucrative extensions. Kevin O'Connell made a tremendous mistake. Now he's hoping to rectify it, but because if Kyler Murray plays over McCarthy and he plays well, he's going to get a big contract. If he doesn't, if he beats out McCarthy and doesn't play well, they're still going to be in the market for another quarterback. So if I had to look at Fields, hopefully he'll never play. Murray, they're hoping that he won't have to play because McCarthy will be really good, but the odds are he will. So I think he's in a better situation. But, boy, Fields is going to learn so much from Andy Reid.
Where do you think Kirk Cousins ends up?
There was talk of the Lakers, but let's be honest, the Raiders. If he goes to the Raiders and Mendoza turns out to be a quick learner, which he very well could be, he's going to be the starter. Cousins is going to be the backup. Cousins needs to go somewhere where he thinks he has a good chance to play. At this point, he's made like the second or third most money in NFL history. That shouldn't be an issue. It should be about opportunity. And there's still teams that need quarterbacks. I'd like to see him go somewhere where he's coached well and he can stick around and have a good situation. And Atlanta was not a good situation. He signs there, gives a lot of money, and then they draft Michael Penix. And that's one reason the coach and the GM are gone. So, yeah, Cousins made records amount of money, but he wants to play. And he played last year. He was inconsistent, but when he was good, he was really good.
John, it came out, I guess, Teron Davenport reporting that Calvin Ridley is going to come back to the Titans, took a pay cut and everything. I think it's a bad idea. I think the guy, they need to move on from him. How does this help the Titans if Ridley does come back, John?
Well, I'm guessing, Joe, they need receivers. And, yes, he was a bust, not as big a bust as Snead was. And but you never know. If they say they draft a receiver or two or sign another one, I think it's just wanting a veteran with a young quarterback. And if they didn't think behind the scenes he was doing the things that they want, I think Mike McGonzie would have told Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh's telling him and Brian Daboll, look, we don't care what you did in the past. We only care what you do now. It's a great lease on life for him because if he comes back and helps, that'll look good on his resume for next year.
John, when the Oilers got rid of the run and shoot in 93, 94 right there and changed to a typical offense, a different offense, I mean, that's a massive change. That's like the Titans in free agency sign all these players. That's a new team they'll put out there and everything. What was that like, the switch of trying to rebuild a team after you did the run and shoot for so many years and it's gone, and now Jeff Fisher's there, Floyd Reese is there, and you go back to a typical offense? What was all like covering that and the fact that team had to rebuild basically from ground zero?
And your new head coach was a defensive coordinator who liked to run the ball a lot, so they had to rebuild in Jeff Fisher's image. And, of course, that started with Steve McNair and then with Eddie George, and those turned out to be two great picks. With the run and shoot, there was no tight end and there was no fullback. The five offensive linemen, they would drop into pass protection, and most of the running game worked because they were running draw plays because the defense was not ready for draw plays. And the slot receivers were really small and quick. The outside guys were normal size like Haywood Jeffries and Curtis Duncan, but when you went to the run and shoot, it was a big transition. Today it wouldn't be because teams use multiple receivers so much, but back then they did not. And I think Floyd Reese and Jeff Fisher navigated those waters as well as anybody could, and they were terrible in 94 and 95, though. Jeff turned them around quick. And, they became the 500 team, and based on everything they went through back then, those were amazing accomplishments.
John McClain is with us here on the program. So with, kind of building on that, I mean, does everybody expect a turnaround to be what the Patriots did last year, or is a, 6-7 win team somewhere in there considered a step in the right direction of a turnaround?
Well, first of all, anybody that's expecting that kind of turnaround, like if it's the Titans, the Raiders, the Cardinals, they're dreaming.
Right.
And one of the things they had in New England, besides he had a great coach in Mike Vrabel, they spent their money wisely, but they also had a great young quarterback. Now, if Cam Ward turns into a great young quarterback, that will elevate their chances to be good quicker, just like if Mendoza is. I'm not sure what in the world Arizona's doing right now, and it would certainly help if the Titans draft Jeremiah Love to give them a good 1-2 punch like the Oilers/Titans had with Steve McNair and Eddie George. I mean, that is a great blueprint for Mike McGonzie and Robert Saleh and Brian Daboll to see that kind of balance. And I can't imagine they're going to pass him up unless somebody trades up to get him. But can they make that kind of change? Sure, they could. A lot of it's about the schedule. Patriots played the easiest schedule in 25 years. Now they're going to play the toughest, the first-place schedule. So if you're betting on a team that's going to win fewer games, I'd bet on the Patriots. And if you're betting on a team that was worst to first, I'd bet on the Lions. And but I think if the Titans double their win total, everybody there should be so excited about the direction they're headed.
John, your thoughts real quick on Kevin Byard going from the Bears to reunite with Mike Vrabel in New England?
Why did the Titans get rid of him?
Salary cap or making too much money or some nonsense.
He was done. He was cooked.
You can keep anybody you want to keep,
right?
If you really want to keep him. And the way he's still playing, that was a huge mistake. And I think the guy's is one. He might be the most underrated safety in the NFL.
Agreed.
Yep, 100%. John, appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Guys, thank you very much as always.
John McClain joining us on the program as he does every Monday at 2. We'll come back with more here on this Monday, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Monday. So we talked about this probably about a month ago or maybe 2 weeks ago. What? What are you laughing about?
Just keep going.
Okay. All right. I will. About expansion in sports leagues.
Yeah. Go ahead. Keep talking. I'm just not looking at you.
Why?
I'll tell you in a minute. Just keep. Okay. Expansion in sports leagues.
Yeah.
Do not look at the TV, Chase. Do not look at the TV. So second chances, is that what we're talking about?
No. Yeah. Yes.
I'll text it to you.
The NBA is set for its first vote of expansion, and it looks like Las Vegas and Seattle are the targets to get teams.
Okay.
So that would take them to 32 teams into some pretty big markets for them.
It's pretty big.
So there you go.
Okay. I'm just all right. My question earlier was was like, if you lose a sporting team, should you be able to get one back? Like, I think Houston, yes. Oilers left you.
Yeah.
Right? Atlanta should never get another hockey team.
I would agree
Ever.
with that. But I think they're going to, but
right?
I would agree with that.
Cleveland, he left. Modell
Yep.
left, right?
Baltimore, same thing.
Baltimore, yeah, middle of the night, he took to Indianapolis. The Supersonics. Now, Ricky, our buddy Ricky, had said that it wasn't because of support in Seattle that they moved to Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
They found greener. So, I mean.
What about St. Louis? Because Georgia Frontier kind of did the same thing. Or not Frontier. She left L.A. and went to St. Louis, and then who owns them now?
Kroenke?
Kroenke moved them back to L.A.
St. Louis had your shot, and you didn't do it.
But I don't think – I think they supported them. Now they needed a new stadium, but
yeah, it's not your shot, Bagger. Though they had their opportunity, they had their opportunity in St. Louis. I don't think that they'll ever get another football team again.
Yeah, I don't think so.
They move on. I just don't think it's going to happen. But report is that Seattle might get an NBA team. I mean, the Supersonics were great. So there's all this that goes in about new arena and ownership and ticket sales.
Well, look, that arena is. From what I've been told, beautiful. Where the Kraken play now, that was the site of the old arena. They redid it. Basically, the only thing that's there of the original building was the roof.
Okay.
Because I believe the roof was a historic landmark of how it was done. So they picked the roof up, rebuilt it, and put it back down.
So look at the Miami Marlins. They average like 3,000 a game, something crazy. I know it's more than that.
They need to.
Right.
Move.
They need to get out of there. Nobody's going. Why can't you move that team? I don't know, not to Orlando, but out of there. Jacksonville. People will go to games.
Yeah.
There's just none of this. So do you think people will go to NBA games in Seattle now?
I think so. Oh, yeah, I do. I think Seattle is primed to have all four sports. I think they'll be just fine with it.
Vegas is getting all four.
Vegas
right?
is too. Yep.
Do they have a fan base there? I mean, do you ever see anybody rooting for the
Oh, yeah. Like,
Golden Knights?
They are all in on the Golden Knights. All in. And I think they'll support the A's. Obviously, they're supporting the Raiders. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. And supposedly, they'll build an NBA-only arena for the NBA team.
Okay.
So they'd have – I mean, it's Vegas.
They're right.
They can do it.
What happens there stays out there.
Yeah, right.
You
So
come back.
I'm not surprised. Now the next phase will be because Ricky and I were talking about this today that the NBA is probably going to be done expanding. They'll stick at 32 for a long time.
They should.
And they should. But are there some teams that could potentially move? I would say yes.
Yeah. But
think,
who?
I think one might be down I-40.
Man,
I'm not saying come here, but I'm just saying that lease situation is something to pay attention to.
I mean, nobody goes to a game in New Orleans. Nobody goes to a game down there unless LeBron comes to town.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody goes to a game in Charlotte. Nobody goes.
I think Charlotte does.
Not as good as you think. What are these in Atlanta? What do these teams all have in common? Mediocre.
Yeah. Well,
have we ever mentioned the Washington Wizards on this program not pertaining to Michael Jordan?
Probably not.
Probably not. We haven't.
Okay, so for giggles, if the Grizzlies were like, man, we're done down here in Memphis. If the owner's like, hey, I'm moving, I don't like this lease agreement or whatever, and the Predators who control the building are like, come on, we'll make room for you. We'd love to have you. Would Nashville support it?
No, Nashville Stars aren't going to like it.
No, that's not my question. My question is right now: would Nashville support the NBA?
At the start, yes. First year, yes. Then after that, no. Prices are astronomically insane. No, they're not. They're not going to do it. All these sports.
I disagree. I think
look at sport NBA here.
I think they'd support it. Now I don't know if it would sell out every game, but
what's your definition of support, there, pal?
Like have a 80%.
Okay.
80%. I think you'd get a good season ticket holder fan, but here's the thing, and this what I'm about to say is not a shot. If we're supporting soccer, which we are, I think we're going to support the NBA.
I like where your passion is, but that's apples and oranges, man.
I think you are.
You think there's a big NBA base here? I think there's a bigger soccer base here than NBA.
I think there's a big NBA base. I think there would be a bigger NBA.
Ain't gonna happen. It's not. I'm telling you, laugh at me about baseball. It's not gonna happen. There is no corporate money here. Corporate money drives everything.
Yeah, I think there's a lot moving here.
Yeah, don't stop. We're full.
Amazon's here. You got Orca that's here. Who? You got Nissan.
Orca.
Oracle.
Oracle.
What did
yeah.
I say? Orca.
I don't know. I think we got a big ass whale in the Cumberland River. I'll pay to go see that.
Well, isn't Orca coolers here? I think that's not what I meant, but I think they are actually here.
Orca's a cooler?
Yeah.
I thought it's a big ass fish.
It is. It's a whale, but they
have like a satellite base here somewhere.
Yeah. I was about to say.
I don't think whale's a mammal. I'm for you science nerds text in at me. Sorry. Oh man.
Oh, Kenny the mailman, could you save me here, please?
The Orca Corporation? I don't know about that. Sounds fishy to me.
Oh, see what you did there. Well done.
Listen, you mentioned earlier about Bud Adams in the Hall of Fame, and it's like a nuanced argument because I think all of the AFL owners should have their own wing. To take a minor league and force it to be merged was unbelievable. And a lot of people don't know this. Bud Adams not only traded Joe Namath to keep the league alive, he loaned money to the Buffalo Bills and the Boston Patriots, who had both declared bankruptcy and was ready to fold to keep them going. So actually he was keeping three of the teams in the league alive at the same time. Did y'all know that?
Did not.
I had heard some of that.
Yeah, but okay, Kenny. I mean, all that. But why is he not in the Hall of Fame? I mean, what is keeping him out of the Hall of Fame?
Now, let me tell you why. He was, as an owner, he was one of the 5 worst owners ever of any franchise. You look at the overall record: the Bidwells, the Fords, Woody Johnson with the Jets, the Spanos with the Chargers. Just incompetent. Basically incompetent. And when you looked at Houston, other than 4 or 5 good years, they were basically incompetent. So he's not getting in on the merit of actually being an owner, but he did I don't think you can talk about football without talking about how the AFL forced their way in, and he kept 3 of the teams alive.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
Y'all have a great day, and let's go buy some Orca stock.
See ya, buddy.
Appreciate it. You cannot tell the story of the National Football League without Bud Adams, period.
Well, you need to go with John and fight on his behalf.
I will. I will indeed. Coming up next, it's What Day Is It? We know one day it is. Oh, hell yeah. And celebrity birthdays. We'll do that next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Monday.
We got a text. Thank you. Orca Coolers were here in town. They shut down.
Oh.
So, Chase, thank you for not sponsoring and helping out Orca Coolers.
Oh, sorry. I have some Orca, whatever they're called.
Yeah, we got those
tumbler.
tumblers
Yeah.
on that. That's crazy, man. Thanks for everybody for listening, for weighing in, because you guys know a whole lot more than we do.
Hey, you need a bracket to fill out for the NCAA men's tournament? Well, just head to theGameNashville.com/mayhem and print off your bracket today. Presented by Toyota. Fuel your adrenaline at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Also brought to you by Maple Street Biscuit Company and Nelson's Greenbrier Distillery. So go check that out.
Get it on.
With that, let's get to What Day Is It? What? And celebrity birthdays.
Okay, first on the list is Dribble to Work Day. I think a lot of people will be doing that tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
Good
How
one,
funny is
pal.
that one?
Dribble at work. I mean,
Oh, there you go.
Family show, man, 12 to 3.
yeah,
That
you
was
can
appropriate.
Put a hoop up.
Yeah. Or get a trash can and,
Yeah.
get some
Kobe.
paper.
My mind's in a different spot. I
Your
apologize.
mind's
Yeah.
always in a
All
different
right.
spot.
Should stop watching TV, Joe. Curlew Day is today.
Go Cowboys.
Exactly, yeah. Black Press Day is today. Not that. I don't want that pop-up. Act Happy Day. Let's see.
That's every day.
Everything You Do Is Right Day. Freedom of Information Day. That is also another, I guess, press thing that's going on. Goddard Day is today. Lips Appreciation Day.
Oh.
Yep.
You know who's got pretty lips? Cindy Crawford. It's beautiful. She's a beautiful woman. All right, move on.
National Artichoke Heart Day is today.
Okay.
National Curl Crush Day. Let's see. National Welderly Day. So it's the elderly, the wellness of elderly people. And
Thanks for explaining that.
yeah, just gotta make sure. Some people don't know that.
All right.
National Panda Day. I believe those are no longer one of those endangered species.
Pandas?
Yeah, pandas.
They're us. They're just big, dumb animals, which I love.
They're
Okay.
awesome. There's one down a corner of Charlotte. And,
A panda?
Panda Express.
I was going to say, did you pay that guy money or something? I don't know what's happening on that side of
I
town.
don't want that orange chicken.
Right?
I don't want that.
Exactly. You keep your noodles. Hello.
The last one, I'm going to try to pronounce it the best of my ability.
Yes, here we go.
It looks like a cicada or some sort of cricket. It's St. Urhos Day. URHO''S. Urhos. Your host.
Your host. What is that?
It looks like a cricket. That's what it's showing here on the picture. It's like
Okay.
it's northern Minnesota, 1950s, spread amongst the Finnish community. This is I don't know. I guess it's some form of a bug. Huh? That's
Is it a
weird.
bug, or you're explaining like a sandwich dip?
Well, I mean it just shows a picture of a looks
Okay.
like a cricket. I don't know how else to explain it.
All right. Well,
Maybe
we'll
it's
move
a
on.
delicacy where people eat,
right?
crickets.
Did you eat cicadas? Evidently, they were good protein.
No.
Like all the dogs
I did not.
dogs got fat, and then so did all the fish, because the fish ate all the cicadas when they fell in the lake. The fish got big and fat. Happens. That's
you
my
go.
excuse too.
Okay.
All right, time for celebrity birthdays. Get these within 2. Chase, you go first. First birthday today, former Ravens general manager who signed our man Derek Mason, Ozzie Newsome, former Alabama tight end, Ozzie Newsome.
I see Derek somewhere. I think he's in the kitchen right now. I'm going to say Ozzie Newsome is 74.
73.
70. Dr. Crane, former Tennessee Oiler Mel Gray.
68.
57.
65. God, I feel old. Chaser, former USC quarterback Rodney Peete.
56.
58.
60 on the board. Dr. Crane, Derek Mason's former teammate with the Ravens, tight end Todd Heap.
53.
49.
46. Chaser, Blake Griffin.
38.
37.
He's 47 years old.
What?
Yeah.
The basketball player?
Blake Griffin. That's what I saw. Is there another Blake Griffin? Check that out for me.
Hang on.
There's
What?
no way.
There's no way he's 47, right? That's what I thought,
He's
too.
37.
He's 37?
I said 37.
All right, Dr. Crane, you get it.
Thank you.
Damn list. I just hired a whole
That was
staff
not,
last week.
there's
Thank
no way that
Asking
was
for the Harvard, I don't know, teacher. Was he 47?
Easy. I said I was wrong. I corrected my mistake. Chase, Joel Embiid, how old is he?
33.
34.
32. Chase on the board, 3-1. Joel Embiid loves MTSU football. Told you that story.
Oh, yeah.
Loves. If we got time at the end, I'll explain. Dr. Crane, Eric Estrada from Chips.
59.
69.
77. You're up 3-1, Dr. Crane. Chaser, Victor Gober from he was in the Titanic. He was the dad in the Titanic. He was on that show Alias with Jennifer Garner.
Oh,
Gerber,
yeah,
Victor Gerber.
Yeah.
Gerber, sorry.
76.
77.
77 exactly. 5-1. I can't read my writing. Dr. Crane, how old's Flavor Flav?
53.
63.
67.
Jeez.
Chaser, Lauren Graham from whatever show that she was in. Like
I
a
don't know.
WB, CW show, Lauren Graham.
I don't know. 42.
59.
59, you cheated. 59 exactly. 7-1. Dr. Crane, Alexandra Daddario. She was in Baywatch. She was in True Detective, and she was The Rock's daughter in the worst movie ever that I watch every time, San Andreas.
Yeah, San Andreas. I'm going to go 39.
37.
She's 40. She's stunning. All right, here we go. Speed round. Dr. Chase, one of the great singers of all time. Ray Benson of Asleep at the Wheel. How old's he?
72.
77.
75. Dr. Crane's up 9-1.
Jeez.
Dr. Crane, how's
Bad day.
bluegrass musician Tim O'Brien?
82.
81.
72. Chaser, guitar player Nancy Wilson of Heart.
73.
71.
72. It's a push. Dr. Crane, how old's folk singer Patty Griffin?
55.
65.
62. Chaser, singer Tracy Bonham.
71.
73.
59. Dr. Crane, actor Brooke Burns from Baywatch.
58.
52.
48. And the last one, Chaser, how old is bass player Wolfgang Van Halen of Mammoth? I think they're coming to the concert here soon. How old is Wolf Van Halen?
Me first.
Yes.
39.
58.
35. With that, Dr. Crane, you win 9-1.
All right.
Wow. Well done, Dr. Crane.
Real quick, the Joel Embiid story. When MTSU played Delaware, we flew up there on a Tuesday. We had to leave Wednesday night, so our bus blocked in. The Sixers were coming back from playing the Celtics opening night NBA. Joel Embiid gets off the plane. All the players are like, oh, my God, the Sixers are here. The Sixers are here. Joel Embiid was so mad that the buses had blocked his car in. We couldn't move the buses because security hadn't shown up yet to let us on the tarmac. So they're like, oh, you take a picture. Whole time he is saying, and it doesn't give the effect because he's cussing, like blank, blank, MTSU. Where the blank, blank is MTSU. Can y'all move blank, blank the whole time? And all the players are like, I want a picture with Joel Embiid. He's like, man, I want no picture with you. And he's just bitching the whole time because it's 3 o'clock in the morning. He can't move his car. MTSU football team's got him blocked in. All the Sixers are bitching at the football team. Guys had nowhere to go. It's not their problem because security hadn't opened the tarmac yet. It was an absolute disaster on a cold October night in Philadelphia. And Joel Embiid was leading the charge.
Well, It happens, man.
It does happen, man.
That is going to do it for us here today.
Hey, as we leave every show, the weekend, listen, last night the storms came and they went, and that's kind of a metaphor for your life. Storms come through and they move on out. As I say, every bad storm runs out of rain. So we tell you all the time how much that we love you. Stay strong, stay positive. Again, therapy, unitycares.com. I need you to go one time, unitycares.com. Go one time to therapy. Find the gratitude, go closer to God. I say all the time that we need you here. I need you here to walk your daughter down the aisle. I need you here to hold your grandbaby. We need you here, right? We want to come to your comeback party when it's all said and done. This journey, sometimes it's rough. You don't have to do it alone. We are always here for you. You are powerful. Know that we love you. And more importantly, more than anything else in this world, please know that God loves you.
That is going to do it for us. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD is coming your way next. And we'll talk to you tomorrow at noon right here on 102.5 The Game.